People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right, we're back. And this week it is Natalie and I. We had a lady, nutritionist. What was she?
She was doing something with being healthy, companies getting healthy, like together, and having.
We had it all scheduled. Sent her like 6 emails this week, back and forth.
Yeah, they were talking back and forth a lot. She knew it was coming. She knew when. So I hope she's all right. I hope everything's. That's all I can assume is something came up.
Something happened.
And this went from priority to not at all priority. So I hope.
We're not a priority anymore.
I hope she's okay.
We used to be a priority to people.
Stop it. I mean,
no,
she
I'm
could
looking.
be going through something. So I mean, I hope she's all right.
So we waited on the lady for 45 minutes. So if you're watching this, we waited on you 45 minutes. So now we're doing a start one without you.
Yeah.
We'll get you back though. Hopefully everything's all right.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You never know. And I totally understand that. You got something scheduled and something that just needs your attention, and you don't think about stuff that you had scheduled. You're just thinking about taking care of what you need to take care of. So
like your recent hospital visit.
Yeah.
Was that Monday?
Wasn't really a hospital visit.
It was.
I just had to, not like I stayed in the hospital. I just got blood work done at the hospital.
It was a hospital visit.
Okay.
So was that Monday?
It was Monday.
She gets up and she is like in pain.
I wasn't in pain when I got up. You're wrong.
Well, you tell the story then. Golly, I get stood up by a customer, by a guest, and I'm getting abused by my wife. What is going on? It was not that. I did not wake up there. I did not. And it wasn't really a hospital stay. Honey, golly.
Well, I don't want you to make people think that I was staying in the hospital overnight.
We were going to elaborate.
Hospital visit.
We were going to
elaborate. Doesn't sound good. Anyway, are you done complaining?
Yeah.
You sure?
Go.
Got it out of your system?
Yeah.
We can continue now.
We're 45 minutes into a 3-minute episode so far.
Okay, so I woke up not in pain. I was fine on Monday morning. I did my workout. I had breakfast. I did some office work. And so I was doing school with Lana. And I was doing something, and then it hit me hard. I started having really bad pain. Pain that I've been having for almost 3 years now. And so Lana was concerned, and then Wes said something, and Lana's like, "Aren't you supposed to go get your blood drawn?" And
No.
She did say that. No, she did say that. And I told her, I said, "Yeah, but you know what? I'm not gonna worry about it, because you just go there, you're gonna wait for hours, and then they're gonna close, because it was already like 2:00 or something like that. I was like, then they'll close, and I don't get my blood drawn, and blah blah blah. Or it'll take so long to get me in somewhere that is just, pain will be gone by then. I'm not even worried about it. And I was just going to muscle through. But then Wes goes, "Okay, let's go." I was like.
So I didn't know Natalie was sick. She worked out that morning, made a breakfast, all that.
I was fine.
While she was teaching school, she started going downhill.
Yeah.
I thought you woke up hurting a little bit. But I'm going out the schoolroom door to my work shed, to my gym in the backyard. And Lana, for listeners, sorry, she's bug-eyeing me to Mom and then back to me. She's going, while Mom's reading to her. And I'm like, what? And then I look over at Natalie, and she's like, she's reading and got a grimace look on her face. I said, all right, well, I know what that means. She's in pain. So as I'm in my work shed, I said, oh, wait, we're supposed to go to the doctor. We have a standing order to get her blood drawn during an attack. So secretly, I call the doctor and say, hey, look, you guys gave that to us 3 years ago. She's never had an attack this bad during the day. It usually happens around dinner or after dinner.
Yeah.
So
well, on the weekend.
And she said, well, it's a standing order. Hold please. And it was 20 minutes of waiting. And then it's like, all right, well, it's a standing order. Just go get it done. We'll take care of it. All right, honey, let's go. And Natalie's like, I don't want to go. She'd already talked all that stuff about Lana.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, Natalie, there's never a good time to go to the hospital. It's never going to fit your schedule. It's never going to line up to where today's the day I want to go. So I took her Lana watched the kids.
Yep.
And
We were supposed to. So this place that the new doctors I've been going to, they apparently work with Quest Diagnostics or something. And Wes had to drop some stuff off there for me, and they were not nice. There was nobody working there really. They had somebody, but that person was not at the desk. They were way back. They'd come back and call somebody and disappear, and they weren't nice apparently. And
the door's locked to the back door to all the people, right? So she would open the door, call somebody, pull them out, and that's it. They don't answer the telephones. You check yourself in. You check yourself in at the computer, and there's nobody at the desk. So I was in there 25 minutes before I even saw the first person. There's other people waiting, and they didn't know anything either.
Yeah. So he was like, "Well, let's just go to the hospital." I was like, "All right, whatever." So I had a standing order from this new person too, but I had it like in hand. I didn't have to have him look it up. I could just hand it to him. So I just used that one. And so I went to the hospital, and I don't know if it was me in pain or me just scared, but when I handed her my cards, my hand was shaking. I don't like hospital, and
she thinks she's gonna stay. She really does.
My dad's a doctor. I'm totally fine with hospitals, but not for me. If I have to go in there anymore, I'm not okay anymore. But anyway, it honestly wasn't too long. They got me in and out fairly quickly.
While we were waiting, I was just sitting on my phone playing, and Natalie looked up and she says, "Oh my goodness." Explain what happened.
So at the hospital now, instead of just giving you a Band-Aid when they're done, they put that white, what is that stuff?
Gauze or cotton ball.
Cotton ball. Oh, it's cotton, but it's not cotton ball. But anyway, white stuff. And then they take tape and wrap it around you instead of just giving you a Band-Aid. I don't know. And it's like an ace bandage tape stuff. And this lady came out, it was purple. She had purple tape on around each elbow, around each wrist, and one around a hand. And I said, "Oh no, please don't let me get that person. I can't find a vein. I don't want that. I've been there. I have been there where they just, nope, that's not it. Nope, can't find that one. Nope. Okay, I gotta go find somebody else. And you're just a pincushion." And I was like, "Oh no." And we went into, when I finally got called and I went in, I looked at the tape, and her tape, the lady that I got, her tape was blue. And so at first I was like, phew. And I was like, she could have ran out of purple. That's what went through my head. She could have ran out of purple and then switched to blue. But no, my lady was good. She one time in and out. Yeah. So I was like, good. Thank goodness. I don't think I got the person with the purple
I missed
tape.
the lady with all the purple tape. I was playing my little video game on my phone, and Natalie said, "Oh my." So what's the matter with that poor lady?
Yeah.
That's gonna be me. She was.
I just knew I was gonna get that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try a big word. She was trepidatious. You could tell Natalie wasn't.
What does that mean?
You were. Did I not use it right? I used it right.
I don't know what that word means.
I have a better vocabulary than you.
Okay.
You were very worried about going there. You were.
Yeah.
You were on the verge of shaking.
I was shaking when I handed her my cards, but
I'm saying a permanent shake. You were that nervous going. Yeah. You didn't.
Well,
and then I joke around about you staying, and you didn't like that.
No. Well, and we were walking in the thing, and I'm like, you tell them chest pain, but it's like lower down here. But anyway, I'm just like, they're gonna tell me I have to go to the ER, or they're gonna tell me I have to do this or that. I don't want to. Well, I said, we're just walking out. I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna do it. They can't keep me, right? Like I can just walk out, right? And like going through all this as we're walking into the hospital.
Out loud, not whispering. We were having a conversation, not screaming, but having a conversation. They're not keeping me. And this and da 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 da. And the security guard, "Can we help you?" "Leave me alone, dude. No, we know where we're going. We're good. We're good. You don't make things worse, buddy. Don't make things worse, dude."
Yeah, I was just having my little freak out moment.
But I think it's how she said it out loud. He was like,
"Are you supposed to be somewhere you're not?"
Right. Yeah. I don't know. He gotta, because we usually just walk in and go to the floor we need to go to. We don't check in at the front desk. But something,
that is how often we have been there.
But something about,
we know where to go.
But something about what you said.
I guess, yeah, something registered. I don't know. And they don't usually have two security guards standing right there either. So I don't know if something was.
He waddled over to you though.
Yeah.
We're like, no, we're good, buddy.
But, but I haven't gotten results back yet either, and that's been almost a week now. And I don't know why I haven't gotten results back from blood tests.
Well, I told her to make a phone call. She said, "Well, we got a busy day tomorrow.
And
I'll make phone calls in the morning because
honey,
it's
30
supposed to
minutes
be."
of waiting for somebody to go through the call tree, and then you wait for this person, and then they have to transfer you to this person that transfers you to another person. That is like, okay, I'll leave the message for that person, and it's like, holy cow.
Well, I'll do it.
Okay, great, you do it.
Because her dad, is a doctor. He said we should have results Monday night or Tuesday. It's now Sunday. And the reason we're doing an appointment, and I can't wait on this lady any longer to do her podcast episode, we have started our busy season. We are on the road we're exhausted right now. That's why she's yawning 50 times during the podcast. And we're only 5 minutes in. But what is it? We were near North Carolina 2 days ago, Friday. And that was
a summer camp.
Left at 5.
It was a summer camp, so they wanted it in the morning. So it was a 10 o'clock show. We had to be there at 9:30. And it was a 3-hour drive, but you got to give yourself a little bit of extra time. It was so early. We gave ourselves 15 extra minutes. So we left. We had to get up by 5:15, left by 6:15, got there at 9:30, did the show. Yay, meet and greet, pack up, pulling out by 11:30, and then had to stop for gas on the way home. And so we got home about 3 o'clock that day. It was a long day for a 45-minute show, but
people have no idea. And then Natalie's studying in the back. We were close to North Carolina. I didn't know where we were. At the end, I asked one of the teachers, I asked one of the people that work there, I said, "Hey, where are we?" And she's like, "Oh," she names the town. I said, "No, that doesn't help me. Where are we?" I know we went to Roanoke. I know we went through Lynchburg, but then we got on back roads for like
ever.
Yeah, like 2 hours. Where am I? What direction did I go? And she laughed and she said, "Oh, you could throw a rock to North Carolina. That's where you are." And where Lana was, you look out the back window.
Oh yeah. So she and the boys went out. There's a hallway right next to the room we were doing a show in. And out that back door, there's this building, and it has a big dinosaur picture on the front window. The boys were very excited. That is the Virginia Natural Museum. Right?
Natural history?
Natural something. Hold on, it might say it. I have pictures. Hold on. But yeah, it was a huge dinosaur that they really, really enjoyed. Virginia Museum of Natural something.
Be history.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I don't have the rest of the thing. But anyway, yeah. So we're like, well, we'll have to take a trip down there at some point. Because he looked it up, and they have dinosaur bones and everything else. So the boys would find that I'd find that interesting. The dinosaur bones.
But we had to I had to stop. Oh, my bunny rabbit is blowing out fur. And this is like the worst shedding it's ever done. Usually you brush it, it's good. So I had to go buy a new brush, and I stopped at a Food Line. I said, I bet they have one in the dog section. And Natalie said, "Well, I need a green pepper and this and that for the house."
There's 2 things.
I got the boys some cookies and Lana to share a box of something different in the RV, just a special treat. And I'm setting it.
Real quick, I saw her opening those, and I was looking, and I didn't want to burst anybody's bubble because you were like, "Yeah, enjoy them," blah blah blah. And I was looking, I was like, "How old are those?" Like, I thought y'all found them in the RV somewhere. And I'm going, well, I don't want to. Wes is saying it's okay, but how old are those? I haven't seen those in the RV.
All right, but anyway, I'll get back to Food Line here in a second. I did clean out the RV. And where Willow didn't like mixed cheese puffs or mixed, I don't know what you call them. They're in the variety of chips.
Oh, yeah.
She would push them back.
Oh, like barbecue ones or something, yeah.
Right?
Something. Oh, the party mix.
They would get bad and they would inflate. I don't understand why they got fat.
Yeah.
But the expiration date was like 2 years ago.
Oh, God.
So I had to throw all those away. It's like, guys, just give those to the boys. The boys will eat them.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
It was weird. So that's the old stuff. I've gone through and cleaned out all the cupboards and everything. Everything is current, up to date.
Okay, cool.
Because that was bad. We love Willow, but some things still.
I guess.
Well,
she
if you're listening to this,
I
we
guess,
love you.
I
We
guess
do.
she figured, well, if I don't like it, they probably won't like it.
Well,
so.
then I didn't let the kids eat Doritos because then they get cheese. When
Yeah,
they were
and then
2
they
and
get-
3. When they were 2 and 3, right?
Cheese all
They'd
over
probably
their
be better
outfits.
now because they can have a wipe in their hands.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Save it for after the show.
But anyway, I'm in the checkout line and I'm tired. I've been up since 5 in the morning. And the lady in front of me is paying and she's talking to the guy. And I just look up. I say, where am I?
Did you really?
I mean, the name of the town. Where am I? And they just go. It was like a movie. like, and then I got to thinking in my head and I was like, what year is it? I wanted to ask him what year it was because I was trying to look up the name of the history museum and all of that because I was going to do a social media post about that museum.
That's hilarious.
And I said, where am I?
They're probably thinking, do we need to call somebody? Like, that's hilarious.
I was thinking, what year is this? That would have been a second good
that
question.
would have been funny.
But they both, it was so
Who's
funny.
president? What year is it?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Mm.
That's great.
Anyway, let's see.
So we do, but real quick, I'm in the way back of the RV. And if anybody knows how you can get the air conditioners to run, I don't think you can, but it's miserable.
You
back
can't
there.
run the whole RV air
I
conditioner
wish
while you go
there
down
was
the road.
some way you could figure out how to have
You'd have to
air
have the,
conditioner in the back. I mean, there's in the back cars have air conditioners. Why can't the back of an RV have an air conditioner?
because it's not 40 feet away.
Anyway,
Yeah.
they need to figure that out. Anyway, it's hot back there. I propped the door because you have to go with it all closed. You have to go through the bathroom to get to the back bedroom. So I propped the bathroom door open to try and get a little bit of air. But I was miserable. Absolutely. I was like just sweating. Like we got home and I was like, I am just bleh.
And why are you back there?
Doing schoolwork. I mean, it was 3 hours there, 3 hours back. I was getting schoolwork done. And so I told Wes, I said, I need a fan. I need at least a fan. This is miserable. I'm not going to make it. I mean, this is just June. It's not as hot as what it's going to get. I'm not going to make it. And I have to get schoolwork done during the summertime. So Wes rigged me up a fan. It was interesting, but it worked.
I got you a fan. We had a fan in the other RV to blow on the kids to give them extra air in the summertime because they're in the back while we're driving down the car. But I don't know. I still have to rig it more. I just took a piece of rope and just hung it because if it's on a table and we're driving around, it's going to fall on the floor. So I tied it to one of the cabinets.
Yeah. And then it was swinging like crazy. So I had to take the cord and kind of rig it into
where it
the
was taut.
drawer. Yeah, into the drawer thing, but it was still swinging. But yeah.
Well,
And
I
then the
just hung it that
kind
morning.
of, the rope just kind of slowly undid itself apparently because then it went kaboom. But then I just laid it beside me. I might just be able to just lay it right there beside me.
Well, is it getting airflow behind it? That's what I thought. If I put it next to the bathroom, it's getting that cold air to hit you.
Yeah.
If you put it on the mattress, it's sucking
Well, it's
up.
not totally on the mattress. It's kind of cradled between the mattress, and there's that little crack between the mattress and the.
So you're
small
just throwing
crack.
hot air at yourself. Seems like.
Well, that's all it was doing anyway.
Okay,
But it
I
was a
trying to
heck
get
of
you
a
close.
lot.
I'm up front freezing because I have the air on super high. I can see my breath.
You cannot see your breath.
And it is so cold. I have to wear a sweatshirt in summertime to drive anywhere. And
But
she's back there saying she's
I'm double
50
checking.
degrees hotter.
I'm double checking. Is the air all the way up? Yeah. Okay.
We drove home through a major storm and the temperature dropped like 20 degrees outside.
It didn't drop in the back of the RV.
So I turned it down 2 clicks. And then Lana comes up front. Mom wants to know if you turned the air conditioner off. Because it got dark outside and it was torrential rain. I was driving like 20 miles an hour. Apparently there was a tornado in Orange.
Oh, wow.
So all that bad storm came through.
Goodness.
And yeah, I'm freezing. I've got icicles from my nose.
Sorry.
But yesterday's show.
Yesterday was a long day, but it wasn't early. Thank goodness.
It was early for me because I didn't get any office work done on Friday. Because by the time we got home, we took naps till dinner. And then I was just trying to I was still out of it.
Yeah. Well, we had to leave the house about noon on Saturday. It took a little over an hour to get to where we were going to go. And they got 2 shows. So they just got a small show, and they did a small show at about 2 o'clock, and they advertised it as the kids/family show. Do that one, and then they got our full hour and a half illusion show for that evening. And
It's funny how people promote, though. We don't really do a kids show.
we don't.
I don't run around acting like a clown. I don't.
No.
I-
But it was.
But
it
we
was
do.
families.
But we do elementary schools, primary school shows. I'm producing a Dove. I'm doing my magic show, and I have audience participation with little kids. I know how to handle little kids on stage. I think my shows are family shows, not
Yeah.
kiddie shows. There's
No.
a difference, and I don't know how to.
The parents had.
I don't know how to tell the.
The difference. A kiddie show is you're just geared toward the kids, and you're kids. You don't care if the parents are entertained. This is
I
not
guess
for the
that's it.
parents. This is not for the parents. It's not for the adults. It's not for teachers. Whoever's there, it's not for you. It's for the kids. Kids
It's
only.
not a single trick on a fool grown up,
And so,
right?
right, I guess. And we do family show where, okay, yeah, the kids are going to have fun, but so are the parents, teachers, whoever's there. You're going to have fun too. You're going to be fooled. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a fun experience. And so they did say it was a kids show, but obviously the parents had to drive them there and stay with them. So the parents were there and the parents had fun. So it was a family show. But then they did our big evening illusion show, hour and a half show for the evening. And they apparently just geared that, said that was for adults because there were no kids. There were some like older teenagers, I think.
That girl I had on stage
But-
with that Jaquil or whatever her name was.
Uh-huh.
I like she was foreign. She was a white girl from like Germany or something.
Okay.
But hearing her yell her name out in the audience, Jaquil, what? Jaquil? You don't. Where were you
Couldn't
at during
get it.
that part?
I don't know.
And she said, "I'll make it easy for you. Just call me Jackie." Okay, thank you, Jackie. And then I can remember Jackie, but I don't know how she was
Yeah.
saying her name with an accent.
Yeah.
But she might have been 18.
Right.
Like she was probably the youngest person in that building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
But they sold out.
But they sold out. Yeah. They sold out. It was all, yeah. And they were a great audience. They had so much fun. I mean, it was, yeah, it was fun.
This community
show.
is, I always hear people talk about it and how big it is. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it's just another community. Well, when I got lost last night, I got to experience a lot of it. They have their own chapel. They have private beaches. They have swimming pools. They have several parks that the kids can go to.
They have the clubhouse, the community center.
A clubhouse, which is like a country club, with tennis courts and everything. And then the community center, you can play basketball and things in there, but they have a stage where they put on plays only for the people in the community.
Yeah, like their community has their own theater group.
This place is huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
So my brother was like, do they have a
Welcome.
convenience store? That's the only thing they need. People don't have to leave the gates.
Right. You are so right.
But I think so. I'm sure they probably do at the pool. Like you probably go get,
I don't
I don't
know.
know about a gas station, but yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, there you go. It's like their
Yeah.
own little bubble. They don't have to leave. It's kind of almost like being on campus. They say, campus, oh, that's your introduction to life in the real world, but it's really not because you're in this bubble of you're on you never have to leave campus.
Right.
You have your food, you can buy what you need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, Natalie leaves me and goes back in the back to start doing homework on the way home last night.
Mhm.
And when I
Not
left,
2 minutes into it.
when I left, my navigation is like turn right here. But these guard gates have like red stop sign lights, like that's closed. And I had a car behind me. And if I'd have turned off and got stuck, I would have been in 2 lanes of traffic, turning right and blocking this lane of traffic. And I'm like, Natalie, you got to come up here and help me. And I just had to keep driving. And she's like, I don't know what to tell you. Just keep driving right now. And she's fiddling around on the navigation. And she finally got me to the main exit. And they had the same red bars across that just turned green and open.
Yeah.
So I guess it was telling you to
could've gone
stop.
out. Yeah, you could have gone out.
But
there,
it was dark and I couldn't tell. And
Yeah.
That didn't look like the same exit I came in.
Yeah.
I'll worry in the RV if they put me on a back road and
Yeah. No, I get it.
And then if I had to
was
back
fine.
up, you can't because there's nobody there at the guard gate to open that door again.
Yeah. It's just this place was so huge. I really had to zoom out on the map to try and find a different exit. And it's spiderweb roads everywhere. So trying to follow the road to see where you can get out. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, just keep going straight for like ever. And you'll end up on the other one. So luckily you were on one of those main roads that went through the whole.
But what time was the
community.
first show? First show was at 2?
First show was at 2. The second show was at 7:30, but they said to start a little late, and then they had to make announcements, and then we got to start. So we didn't start until about 10 to 8.
You know, I thought I did a really long show, and I'm
Nope.
like, okay, it wasn't my fault.
Nope. We didn't start till almost 8 o'clock. So the show went until almost 9:30, which is an hour and a half show.
And there 15-minute announcements.
Right.
I load the animals, and then the lady takes my microphone and starts talking. It's like the second show, she talked even more than the first one. I thought I knew what to expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess she felt like she could talk longer because it was adults and she didn't have to keep, like the kids weren't going to listen as much.
But so we can make our show fit on any stage. But when you start adding illusions, it does make it more difficult, right?
The stage shrinks considerably when you.
Because now you have, what I tell people an illusion is like the size of an arcade machine.
Sometimes.
Right? So now you get 3 arcade machines.
Bigger, sometimes it's smaller, but yeah, on average.
Yeah. Like Metamorphosis is 2 arcade machines side by side.
Yeah. It's like an arcade machine.
On its side.
Like fell over.
But this stage in front of the curtain was probably 8 inches. That's all you had. When you open the curtain, we probably had 6 feet from front curtain to back curtain. 6 or?
Yeah. 6, 7, something like that. Yeah.
So it wasn't huge.
No.
So,
and they had a lot more stage, but they had this back curtain where they wanted it, and they had props all in the back for the theater and their plays. So.
But we made it work.
Yeah.
We made it work. And we kept telling them that, we'll make it work. Well, can we help you carry in? No, we got it. Can we help you do this? No, we got it. Can we help you? No, God, dude. I said something, then I had to take it back because I didn't know how to.
Yeah.
I said, dude, you are over the top. No, wait, I mean that in a good way. We do some shows and they're like, go over there. But you are really thank you. I wish more people were like it.
Yeah. He was definitely on top of things, and he was helpful, and it was nice because then you felt like, oh, well, now I do have a question. You felt like you were able to go ask, whereas people who are like, yeah, you're over there, and just kind of ignore you, like, you feel like a little kid tugging on a coattail going, excuse me, is it okay if I ask you a question? But this guy, you knew he was totally fine with you asking him questions and whatever, and he was just like, oh yeah, let me help you. And it was, he's good.
My favorite part,
he was nice.
My favorite part was after the show, I was able to be frank with him, and I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But so the gap in between, we ordered a pizza, and I did not like it. It was so greasy. We couldn't get cauliflower crust pizza. But it was so greasy. It was like slimy on my tongue. Lana was taking napkins and getting the grease off of hers.
Hers was worse than ours.
And I was like, and Natalie said, I think it's a tomato sauce, Wes.
Yeah, I was like, I couldn't tell. I was like, is it this meat or the tomato sauce? Or I don't know what it is. I don't know. But I tell you what, I woke up this morning, I just felt like it was salty because I felt like my face was just rounded and my eyes were squinty, and I'm like, we're going to church, and I'm like, man, woof, I feel bloated from yesterday.
We struggled in church today.
Whoa.
We struggled in church. I'm sore all over. I'm so exhausted, tired.
Sore all over.
Just eating junk, maybe, I don't know. But I'm just tired. I'm exhausted. And Natalie's like, next time you get home that late and everything, we'll just have to
Maybe
skip.
we just, yeah, maybe we, but
But
the
it's for
thing
the kids.
was,
The kids.
the thing was,
That's what I
we
think of.
yeah, well, yeah, and we had told them, oh, today we have one show, tomorrow we have 2 shows, the next day we get to go to church because they love going to church. The boys especially. Lana really likes it too, but the boys and I like it. But I'm okay with if we get home at 1 in the morning and don't get in bed until 1:30 in the morning, I'm okay with taking a week off. But the problem was we had told them. And I didn't feel like we could go back on it. Nobody was sick. You know what I mean? It was just we're tired. And so I felt like we needed to get up and we needed to take them to church because we told them we were going to church. But I think next time we need to look at the schedule a little more carefully, figure out what time we're getting home on Saturday evening to figure out if we're going to be, because I didn't get anything out of church this morning because I'm so tired I couldn't concentrate. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, what were we saying? Oh, so in that gap between, I put my projector up because we didn't need a projector for the first show. For the second show, I put my projector up, and the boys watched dinosaurs on TV while they ate pizza. And this is a 10-foot TV now, right?
Yeah.
And the Bluetooth, it's coming through my speakers on the stage, so it's blasting. They're having a great time. They're eating pizza. They're living their best life.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, we'll
Pizza
pack it
and
up.
dinosaurs.
And then this community center has meeting rooms. So we put our packages, our stuff, we unzip an illusion or unzip stuff, and the banners have their own little packages.
Packaging material.
All that went into meeting room 1, and then meeting room 2 was the kids.
Yeah.
And Lex was putting on his own magic shows
He
back there.
It's very cool. It was very cute. Yeah. He lined up a whole bunch of chairs and he said, "It's magic show." And then he went and sat in every single chair.
He just set his butt down. He was showing you how many people were there.
Yeah, apparently. I don't know. And then he'd come out and he'd be like, "Okay, hey, I'm Wes Iseli." Like, yay. And then he'd just back up in the corner. Bye. Bye. That's all he did for me. So I don't.
Well, Lana has a video of him with the balloon.
Oh.
And he says, "Abracadabra." Oh, nothing.
No. That's cute. That's adorable. Yeah, in the show, normally the balloon produces a dove. And they say abracadabra, the balloon pops and a dove is there. Poor guy.
Oh, nothing.
Nothing.
That's
funny.
But anyway, they did pretty daggone
They
good.
did
I mean,
really
they're 4
good.
years old, and it was a long day for them.
It was a very long day.
We tried to take them outside, but it was hot. We have soccer balls in the car. We have launchers that you pull the little string and it launches a little torpedo. They can catch it. And then at nighttime or dusky time, they light up. So they're really fun to play with. But the boys were fighting over it. They wanted to shoot it, but their cheeks got red. They were miserable hot.
They were out there maybe 30 minutes, maybe, if that. And we were loading the illusions. This between shows before the pizza arrived. We were bringing the illusions in, and they got close enough and said, "Ooh, their cheeks are really red. I think maybe they need a break." And they did. They came in and they chugged some water, and
and they were happy. But I'm in air conditioner now. I'll just stay here.
Yeah. Which was fine. They got some energy outside, so they were able to sit down and eat some pizza.
But the shows went great. Standing ovation.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good standing ovation.
Yeah, I think everybody.
But I have no pictures. I have no proof.
Yeah.
My video camera died.
You wouldn't have had proof with the video camera anyway. Because it was in front of everybody.
It was in front of, yeah. They had an orchestra pit, so I put it in the orchestra pit.
The only problem with when you outgrow your babysitter and you send her packing, you don't have an extra person to take pictures because
Lana used to take pictures for us.
Lana would take, I took a few pictures, but I don't have that much time during the show to take pictures. So I took what I could. And then we used to send Lana out when Willow was watching the boys. We'd send Lana out to take pictures. And then if we wanted a final bow picture, well, Lana, all 5 of us were on stage. Willow could take a final bow picture. But we don't have anybody extra anymore. So we didn't get any final bow pictures or standing ovation or anything like that. Yeah.
But it was great. And then afterwards, after our show, Everybody starts breaking everything down, and people are still talking to us. And what do? Do I not talk to the people that's coming up to talk to us?
No.
Do I cut them? I have to do it. But then they're like, all right, everybody's gone. Well, that person just left. I haven't started packing yet. But I try to hurry as fast as I can. And then because they have a theater group coming in on Monday to start working on summer camp theater, the director of the theater says, I'm gonna go ahead and move the stairs out of the way because it can scratch the floor. So he moves our stairs. So now I either have to jump up on the stage or walk around down the hallway, climb up the back stairs, and work on my equipment. So that's what I told that guy at the end of the night. I could be frank with him. I said, hey, if you ever have talent here of any kind, wait till they finish moving their equipment before you move the steps.
He goes, oh no, why did he do that?
That made us go a lot.
Oriented. He knew what he needed to do and he wanted to get it done. But
that was at least 30 minutes extra work for us.
I'm like, I don't think he was thinking about
us.
Yeah, he was thinking his list. I gotta check. Because all he did was he took the steps and he put them in the corner. That was it. And it wasn't like they needed them to go and be used somewhere else. He just put them in the corner. Like he got, and the guy that Wes told that to, he's like, oh no, I know how to do he showed me how to unlatch it and do everything, blah, blah, blah. I could have done it later. It's like, I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. It's just for future knowledge.
Future knowledge. Let us get at it. Well, if he's a theater guy, show's over, I can move the steps because nobody has to go up and down. They're not moving equipment. I'm taking the whole show down.
Right.
Come on, dude.
Right.
Think about it.
Right. And he didn't. That was the thing. He didn't think about it. You know, them putting on plays, they're not moving big equipment up and down. It's they take off their costume, they're done. You know. So,
he just wasn't thinking.
Yeah, no.
Anyway, but it was a fun show. It was great.
It
was great. And I was able to be frank with the guy and say, hey, psst. And that's kind of like am I being rude? Somebody could take that wrong.
He didn't take it wrong.
No, but I'm saying I was able to be frank with him is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
No, it was a good show. It was a good day. It was a long day. Everybody was definitely tired. Boys broke down when we got home because they had fallen asleep in the RV. But that was okay. We just hurried them and put them to bed. Like, okay, just take your shoes off and let's go to bed. But yeah, it was good. And that was fine because they broke down then and not at the show. Right?
Yeah. Well, we had a new illusion. The illusion that the boys get in. We talked about that on here, right? Have we? I don't know.
I think so. After the first time we did it. Yeah, we had to have. I'm sure.
But they did good.
They did do good.
They love it. They really do. They're playing hide and seek with the audience.
They love it. Their hands go up, ta-da! And Julian just crawls out. He just crawls. Lex pops up onto his feet, but Julian just crawls out towards the audience and then he gets up. It's just funny.
In other news, Lana is on Instagram. You guys can follow our little artist on Lana Isley Does Art on Instagram and check out her stuff. And her playing card art is for sale at wesisley.com or magiciansmagicshop.com.
Yeah.
And she's working a little butt off.
Yeah, she's doing a good job.
She just asked us yesterday, can I have real clay? Because she wants the kind that turns to concrete instead of air dry concrete clay instead of air dry foam clay.
Yeah.
She wants it to have more weight. I feel like it falls over the other way.
Knocks instead of being a little squishy.
Yeah.
But yeah. She made the boys little tiny dinosaurs out of that clay. She gave one to Julian this morning and head popped right off. I said, Lana, what are you giving these boys?
That's a choking hazard,
I was giving her a hard time. And Julian just came and goes, oh no. She's like, oh no, I'll fix it. So
are you gonna glue it or she have to put more clay on each side?
I think she glued it.
We'll talk about I'm gonna this is for you later, Julian, in life. Last night he's potty training. Natalie goes to church last week and they're like, you got any prayer requests?
Oh yes.
Now I take this serious. Like somebody's dying of cancer, somebody's doing whatever, and you can pray for anything.
You can pray for anything. Anything. So I said, I have one because I'm desperate and I just want to ask for prayers. I said, Lex is pretty much potty trained. Julian refuses. I'm like, at first we had him where he was peeing on the potty and he was doing really well with pee. We were just having issues with number 2. And then I don't know if seeing his brother in big boy underwear and he didn't get to wear big boy underwear. And so then he just, nothing, no pee. He just, so Wes was trying to be like, oh man. And we were trying different tactics. And
Don't
finally,
be a baby, dude. Why are you a baby? He's in big boy pants. Why are you a baby?
yeah, he did that. I didn't like doing that. But I would talk to him and be like, well, when are you going to put it in the potty? Like, big boy, wear your big boy underwear again and put it in the potty. And then finally I was like, you know what? I'm just going to ignore it. I'm going to ignore it.
I didn't like ignoring it.
It worked. It worked. Prayers and ignoring it and just going, okay, well, let's wipe your butt. Let's go. Here you go. Here's your new pull-up. People in the front. Put them on. And yeah.
People on the front. There's a picture.
Yeah.
On the front of the diapers. Then we say people
on the front. It's bluey. It's actually bluey on the front. But anyway, that way they know which way to put it on. But yeah, I quit. I was like, no, I'm just gonna ignore it. Whatever. And apparently that worked because come Friday, it was a really long drive and I wasn't sure about a 3-hour drive even for Lex. So I did put them both in pull-ups for the show and the ride because we're not at the point, I'm getting warm now. We're not at the point with Lex where he is, he still wears pull-ups at nighttime. So I wasn't sure if he fell asleep on a 3-hour drive, if there would be an accident. So they were both in pull-ups for the show. But when we got home, Julian decided he was going to go upstairs to use the potty. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then he calls me up there and I look and he had gone number 2 in potty. And I was like, oh! And I made a huge deal out of it. We've had a dinosaur tattoo sitting on the sink for 3 weeks now that he would get if he went poo in the potty. So he got a dinosaur tattoo. Lana had made them little dinosaurs that their heads didn't fall off. And she gave those to him. And I was like, this is so awesome. Let's put you in big boy underwear. So we did. And he had 0 accidents for the rest of the day. And then we had yesterday, which is a really long day. And I'm like, I don't want to put, and I had told Wes earlier in the week, it's just an hour drive. I'm going to try Lex because he's gone to church in big boy underwear, but we haven't tried anything further than church. But I'm like, it's just an hour. I'm going to try Lex in big boy underwear for the day and see what happens. And obviously bring back up everything. I was like, I don't want to do Lex in big boy underwear and then Julian not. And then he says, well, and just reverts back to what he was doing. So I was like, I am scared out my mind, but we're going to put them both in big boy underwear for the day. No accidents. All day long. Julian even did number 2 while he was out and about, which is awesome.
She said, oh, they're doing great. You know what's going to happen. We have all these shows coming up, all this travel. That's when they have to go back to diapers because he's going to mess up.
Yeah.
But nope, we did good.
They were really, really good.
Now, last night.
Yes, wow.
It's 12:30. He's been on the road all day long. They fell asleep before we got out of that neighborhood. Right? I mean, they fell asleep pretty quick.
Pretty soon. Yeah.
And he got out of the car. They woke him up, got out of the car.
They were cranky, but no accidents. Everything was dry.
He walked to the house and we're waiting. I'm waiting on Lex because Lex is sound asleep and she's still shaking him. And Julian's at the front door of the house, can't get in because the door's locked. And I finally get Lex woken up enough and I carry him up the steps, open up the door, and Julian runs into the kitchen, just starts crying. I said, take your shoes off, take your shoes off. Lex, take your shoes off. Lex takes his shoes off, puts his arm, and falls asleep in the kitchen floor. And Julian is wailing, crying for mommy. I'm like, dude, just put your shoes away. Mommy. I'm like, oh, this is just a temper tantrum nighttime. No, what it was we didn't open the house fast enough and he had to pee. And he peed down his pants. He wetted his big boy underwear. Even gotten his shoe wet.
Shoes were wet, yeah. So I think he was really upset with himself. And I think he was really worried that he was going to have to not wear big boy underwear the next day. And so when I came in and I was like, well, I have to use the bathroom. You gotta go potty. You gotta go potty. And he just goes, he just kind of points. I was like, oh no. I said, don't worry about it. It's okay. And I was just assuring him, I was like, it's okay. It's late. You're really, really tired. No, it's okay. It's okay. We're going to be okay. You can wear your big boy underwear tomorrow. We just kind of stripped him down and went upstairs.
And she's in there condoning him, saying it's okay. And I'm in there with paper towels and wipes, and I'm mopping the kitchen floor because there's feet print all the way from the front door. And then he sat down. It's just a puddle in the floor.
Yeah,
and they had to wear sandals today because his tennis shoes are wet.
Tennis shoes are still wet, so they had to wear sandals to their flip flops to church. But yeah. Well,
no, yeah, you did great.
You know,
he was worried you were gonna
punish him for it, and he just got to wear big boy underwear on about. He didn't want to ruin it.
And Lex did take forever getting out of the car.
Yeah, Lex did. So I guess next time Julian gets out of the car, just tell him to whip it out and pee.
In the yard.
Yeah, just let him say, hey, put your pants down, go pee.
Well, he should have known to do that, though, if he had to.
So tired. He
not thinking right.
Yeah. He wouldn't have, you know? So it just kind of, the poor guy. And I tell you what, the first night, we put him in big boy underwear and praised him. The first night I put him in, got pull-ups. He goes, no. He was getting dressed before Lex. I said, don't worry, Lex wears these at nighttime too. Everybody wears these at nighttime just in case. So he's okay with it. He was like, he was very upset. He can get big boy underwear for nighttime. I'm like, no, not yet. We're not there at nighttime yet. I don't know how long that'll take, but as of this morning, they're not ready for big boy underwear at nighttime.
Well, coming home from that show last night, Natalie, on top of everything, is sick as a dog. Even though you have those pills.
The Dramamine. Yeah, I don't know. It says up to 24 hours. So I should have been good until about 10:30 the next morning. But I don't know if maybe it just doesn't last that long. Because I wasn't feeling so good. But I was still doing my work because I wanted to get this assignment done. And I did. I turned it in right as we turned into our road. But I was like, oh, and I felt awful. And by the time I have boys to bed and myself ready for bed, I'm climbing in bed. I'm going, Wes, oh, I don't feel good. Oh, gosh, I don't feel good at all. Like, I wasn't sure that we were going to go to church next morning because I was like, am I sick, or am I car sick? I don't know what's wrong. And there's, I mean,
that's what you told me. I didn't know if I'm sick or car sick. I'm like, I don't know either.
I know. He's like, just lay on your side.
She lays her head on my chest, and I'm like, hey, honey, if you feel like you're going to throw up, can you just roll over?
You just lay on your side of bed tonight. I was totally fine with that because I didn't feel good. I was like hot. I didn't feel good anyway. So I was like, it's okay. And yeah, there was even a couple times I woke up during the middle of the night. I was still like, ugh, I still don't feel good.
But it was car sick.
But by morning, I was fine. I guess so. And so, I mean, I took it 10:30 in the morning. And yeah, I mean, I should have been good, but that was by the time we got home at 12:30, obviously that's over 12 hours. Even though it says 24 hours, maybe that's just.
They don't really expect people to be up 24 hours.
Yeah, I'm not really going to be using it. Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
So,
yeah.
If it's a really long day, maybe I should just bring another one just in case.
What, is that a problem?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, I think you're really tired.
I mean, it's less drowsy Dramamine, but I don't know.
All right, so I have another note here for us to talk about. You can talk about the boys' eye appointment.
Oh, yeah.
And what's wrong with your eyes?
The boys had their first eye appointment. So we noticed when they were little that sometimes when they get tired, their eye just goes out. One of their eyes will go out. And they would say, fix your eyes, and they'll rub them and they'll go back to normal. And so, you know, when we took him to the doctor, he would really because he would be like, well, when you look straight at them and they look right back at you, it's not like it just drifts off to the side. I'm like, no, it's usually when they're tired or something. And, you know, he's like, well, we'll just give it some time. Sometimes they outgrow it. Well, by the time we took them to their 4-year checkup last September, we were like, so it's still going on. And he's like, well, at this point, let's go ahead and get them into a eye appointment. So we did, but they didn't have any openings until May. So we took him the end of May is when it was. And that guy is awesome. I mean, he's like, you ready to play some games? I'm like, yeah. And they just got really into it and they were so excited. And they really liked him and he just kept their attention really well and got them to answer the questions he needed him to. But what he said, what happens is it's distance. When they look in the distance, their eyes won't stay. One will go out. And he's like, of all the issues that eyes can have, this is the best one. If they go in, there are times when they go in, which the boys don't, but for people that they have go in, he said they're at risk of losing eyesight. So there's no risk of any lost eyesight with this. He said it's just distance. And he said up close right now, sharp as a tack, good to go. It's just distance. And it was weird because he would cover one eye and then he would pull it away real quick and just put it back over. And you could see that eye just correct. It was so weird. I was like, whoa, he's making it. Look at that, Wes, he's making it happen.
And we were saying weird. When we told the kids to fix their eyes, they would always rub their eyes. Mm-hmm. But he said they're refocusing when it gets close to their hand. And that has nothing to do with touching their eyes. It's refocusing here makes it go back to normal.
So looking at something close fixes it. Yeah.
I was in the bathtub the other night. The boys came in to pee on their little potties. And they looked at me. Or he was at the door and he just had his arm here. And his eye was all squirrely. Like this eye was completely out. And he was looking at me. Dad, I can't find my dinosaur. He wasn't pottying. I forgot. He was trying to find that dinosaur that was squishy. And he was having a whole conversation. And his eye, one eye was just completely. I'm like, dude, what are you looking at? Look, I'm over here. And I said, fix your eyes. He goes, Dad, it's a squishy dinosaur. It's a T-Rex. I'm a little car. And I can't find it. And he knows all the names of these dinosaurs. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. But
I don't know, buddy. Shut the door. It's getting cold in here.
So the doctor said when that happens, it's kind of like if you just shut one of your eyes. That's the vision that they have. They can't see. And he said, so right now their close-up vision is fine. Nothing happens. He said eventually that's going to go too, and they're going to get squirrely with the near too. So when that happens, then there's a very simple surgery, and they have to cut some sort of muscle on each eye. He said it's simple. They come back and he sees them in 2 weeks, and then he sees them like in a couple months after it, and then they're good to go. He said, but it's definitely going to have to get done. He said, not now. He won't do it right now because it's not necessary, and I don't know, maybe it would mess something up at this point. But he said eventually the nearsighted thing will start going squirrely. And
how will you know when it's nearsighted? Because when you're looking down at something, nobody can see your eyes. So how will we know?
I don't know, because we have to take him to the eye doctor every year. He'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah.
But anyway, and it definitely has to get done so that they can drive, because you have that going on where one eye goes squirrely because you're looking at a distance, and then you don't have half your vision. That's not good for driving.
They do say some people don't get it done though.
Right. Like, I don't know how they drive though. But anyway, so they'll have
I used to have a teacher with a glass eye. She worked for Mary Kay. She had the pink Cadillac.
How? Because they make you do that eye test where they're testing your peripheral vision. How can she pass that?
I wasn't there, Natalie, but I know she had the pink Cadillac. She was a Mary Kay salesperson.
That's crazy. Wow.
She drove to school every day.
Huh. Well, anyway.
Maybe she didn't have her head straight. Maybe she had to do this so that the nose, she could see peripherals.
Anyway. But yeah, but that's, I think at least a few years down the road before we'll have to do anything about that. But we just have to see them in a year. So we'll be back in a year. And they did. I was worried. I really was. I was kind of like, I don't know how they're going to do sitting and looking at things and figuring it out. But he had it. He's got it down to art. I mean, he's got little flashy lights. Look over here and look over here. And he puts something, he gives him a paddle. And what's on that paddle? Oh, can you put the paddle on my nose? And then he's got a barking dog at the end. Look down at that barking dog. What color nose is that barking dog? And it's just
remote control buttons that do different things around the room.
Yeah.
But she put it on Facebook that we had the kids' eye checked, and everybody was saying that
singing that guy's
This guy is
praises,
like a
yeah,
second generation eye doctor, and we took our kids. And
to the dad, and then we took him to him, and just you got him at the right place. Well, that makes you feel good. So
we
yeah,
had no idea.
yeah, no idea. But I gotta agree, very, very good with them. So yeah.
Well, another thing, guys, as we're getting close to wrapping this thing up, go to our Patreon account. We have free, you can sign up for free and get access to some things. But like, I think the smallest tier is like $5. And I have been putting at least 4 videos up a week. We have subjects for our Patreon bonus episode that we're going to do after this. It's not going to be a full episode, but we have a bonus feature on every podcast we do. And I have some subjects written down for that. But discounts on merchandise. You have marketing stuff for magicians or entertainers. We have show and tell. I take stuff off the walls and show you how it works, or show you parts of my collection. Teach magic tricks on there. Bloopers. Last week's blooper video was hilarious because it was Scott Neary and
Nary, very rhymes with very. Nary.
it doesn't rhyme with very. I can't get it to work.
That's what he said.
I hear you, but it's still
never say it right.
And
Poor guy.
I mispronounced his name a couple times.
Every time. At one point, he said McNeary. Where are you getting this from?
I did not say McNeary.
I'm pretty sure he said something way off. And I'm like, we can't let that slide.
Anyway, we had to start the podcast. So I put the bloopers from that because it was crazy. And then we're talking to him, and like we're 3 minutes into the podcast, and I can't see where it says record over there. Did we push record here? We did.
Yeah.
But the timer's not there.
No.
I can't see it right now.
I guess you can see it maybe when there's 2 people up.
But anyway,
know.
we're like
I realize.
3 minutes, 4 minutes into the podcast.
I'll go, stop. I just say stop. Just stop. We're just having a conversation. It's not getting recorded. So we had to start over again. So, but yeah.
We put that blooper up. But we put bloopers, behind the scenes footage, all of that stuff and more. Patreon.com/Wes_Iseli. Go check it out. You can see, you don't have to subscribe to it. Just, you can join the free membership for it and check everything out and see all the stuff that we're uploading. So Natalie, as we wrap things up, do you have any health tips for everyone?
No.
The lady last night that was talking to you while you were selling merchandise at the show was a dietitian. And she pulled me aside and was talking about Ozempic, and you can't be on Ozempic for the rest of your life. I didn't know that.
No. Yeah, you're gonna have to come off of it eventually. But it's a good jump start for people that need it. You know, if you need a jump start and you need a jumping off place, you know, something to get you started. Sometimes just having that first success is the key. And then you can just keep going. You're like, yes, I got this.
But I thought it had like lizard poison in it to stop your guts from working.
Down. I don't know about the poison thing, but it slows down your digestion. So everything goes through your digestive tract slower so that you're not hungry and you feel fuller sooner because it's going through slower, which can also cause its own problems. But yeah, you can't be on it forever. And so if you're on it and you're not learning how to eat and learning proper nutrition, and also trying to have a different mindset about food, because I know a lot of us that are addicted to food, it's really hard because it's not like it's a substance that you can just give up. You need it to survive.
It's got Gila Monster venom in it.
Oh, okay.
And that's what slows down your metabolism.
Okay.
Which slows down your
digestion.
Yeah. And people say they get really bad gas, really bad burps that are like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going through there very
It doesn't sound like it's something.
But some people need it as a jumping off point, and it really helps.
But it's a hormone.
Yeah.
In the Gila Monster called Extendin 4.
Okay. There you
So I'm
go.
not making it up.
But anyway, I mean, so but once you get off of it, that's the issue is if you're on it and it's gotten you success, but you haven't learned how to eat, you haven't learned how to think about food, eat to live, not live to eat. If you haven't switched your mindset to that, then you will, just like anything else, you're going to gain it back. And usually it's gain it back plus some, which then is just, here I am again. And it's just discouraging. So, okay, there's my tip. If you're on a GLP-1, anything like that, and you need help, reach out. It doesn't have to be me. Reach out to anybody you're comfortable with and just get some nutrition advice and just try and figure out how to eat right now while you're on it. And then when you're off of it, you already have that lifestyle going for you. And you'll have, a good chance of keeping it off. Right?
You're the boss.
As you're looking at Facebook while I'm watching.
No, she was saying last night that that people just, they don't know. She was really, what did you guys talk about?
We talked about that, and we talked about how I'm in nutritional biochemistry, and I was like, I'm never gonna need this. And she was like, yeah, no, you're not. She said, I mean, maybe if you ever work in the NICU and you have to tell the doctors how to feed the kid, the babies, sometimes you might need that kind of chemistry because it's bloodstream and everything like that. But I said, yeah, I'm not. Said, yeah, you probably never use it. Like, yeah, that's what I figured.
I was talking to her. I was really into it. And then I was like, shoot, I got work to do because this was intermission. I said, I'm sorry. I got to do work.
I had a great conversation. Yeah, and it was fun.
She was a great lady.
Yeah.
And then I said, all right, I got to go. Bye. And then I heard her loudly say, I started out in the NICU. And then I opened up the curtain. I said, I did too.
She thought that was funny. Yeah. But yeah, it's, no, it was a fun conversation with her. But yeah, I won't ever need biochemistry. I mean, I told her, I said, I am learning about genes. I am learning about how DNA replicates. I am learning about the parts of DNA. Like, I'm not, for what I want to do, I am not going to be like, okay, Wes, so this is what you should eat. And it's because your DNA is made up of this, that, and the other thing. What? No, no, I don't. So anyway.
But all that being said.
And she agreed. Ha! Dietitian, you agreed. I didn't need to take nutrition.
Why whisper?
Because it sucks.
That being said, she's like, hey, I have a test tonight and it's biochemistry. I'm going to go in my room. I'm going to shut the door, lock the door. You get the kids. Good luck. Don't talk to me. I'm taking a test. Mm-hmm. Please say a prayer for me. Yep. And then she comes out. I got 100%. You're not struggling if you're getting 100. You're not struggling if you're getting a 98. A 98.
You can still be struggling. You can still be struggling. You're just working really hard at it. Thank you very much. It's not easy. It's not easy, Wes.
You're getting hundreds day after day.
That doesn't make it easy, Wesley.
When I say I'm struggling with the class, I got like D minuses. I showed that I was struggling. I wasn't doing well.
Well, thank God I'm not doing that because that means I'd have to retake the test, the class, and you don't want that.
I really only got D minus in guitar class.
Guitar? How do you get D minus in guitar?
It was every man for himself in our guitar class. I said that in church today, and everybody's like looking at me because they're like, "What do you know? Like anagrams? I think is it an anagram? Like a word represents something else, like Roy G. Biv for the rainbow." And I said, "Every good boy deserves females, like the chords of a guitar." And I said it was all dudes in our class, but every good boy does fine. You could also say, but we always said deserves females. But that's how I learned it. But anyway, I said that one first in church. But anyway, he would take one student. We were on stage and by ourselves.
Okay.
He would take one student and work with them, and we were out there, every man for himself. A dude put me in a chokehold, and I thought I was going to die. I stabbed him in the leg with a pencil. I broke the pencil lid off in his leg.
Oh, geez.
He never messed with me again. But it's like, I'm going to die. This isn't good. And I got a D minus in that class.
Because of that?
No, there was no practicing because you're on the lookout because they were doing crazy stuff. It was not.
But you could have taken home and practiced.
I'm sure. Yeah, but I had
But you didn't.
No, I was
I
doing
can't
magic.
believe a D-, and you would think that would be like the easiest of all classes to get a D- in. I wouldn't think it would be guitar.
It was before the internet too. It's not like I could go home and have it play and do this and I don't know. It was there was like 3 kids in our school that
cassette tapes and CDs that you could listen to. That's what I did.
We didn't have that.
Violin.
My mom and dad didn't buy me that.
They would have
I had a book
CDs
that taught me the
sometimes.
music.
Okay. Well,
And that was it. That's all I had.
That too.
Yeah.
And then a teacher would tell you how to go, and then you would just have to remember to practice.
I love that teacher. I love him to death. I still love him to this day, but he didn't help me in guitar class.
Apparently.
I played a song. It was one of the older. I always hung out with older classmen. One of the older classmen taught me like I think Michael Myers. Dun, 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 dun. That's all I can play on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked on that for weeks, and I had it, and it was great.
Okay.
And I took it when it was my turn to go perform for the teacher. He just looked at me and said, "Any monkey can play that one."
Ouch.
And I was like, "That's what I've been working on."
Oh, that hurts.
So then I just put it on another Facebook group I did. It was Mr. Big. Hold on, little girl. Show me what he's done to you. Because it was cool because it was strumming and you tap the guitar. Like,
oh, yeah.
You have some.
Okay.
And I liked that. That was neat. But like 13 seconds into the song, it gets very technical. I couldn't finish that one.
My violin teacher told me one time, proof is in the pudding. And I had worked so hard on that particular part of the piece. I had worked so hard. And I was like, I swear, I need your, and I told her before I played, I said, this is a spot I'm having trouble with. I really worked on it. And I did it, and I had trouble with it. And when I was done, I said, see, I'm going to just like, no, proof is in the pudding. I don't think I played violin very much longer after that, as far as taking lessons from that lady. I don't like.
But you were in like honors guitar, honors orchestra
in college. Yeah, this was private lessons when I was in middle school.
No, I sold my guitar.
High school.
I was done.
I was. Oh no, I didn't do that. I still had my violin, but I mean, yeah, I was taking private lessons, and then eventually. Like, I was just sick of it. She was like, what piece do you want to play? And then I pick out a piece and she'd be like, okay, but we're going to do this one. Like, why give me a choice? And so anyway, but yeah, no, that proof was in the pudding thing. That hit me wrong. I didn't take lessons much longer.
Well, any monkey could play that one.
That would have killed me. I mean, when she said that to me and that lesson, that killed me. I think I told my mom afterwards, I was like, I practice. I mean, because I'll give it to you. There were weeks that I didn't put my best in and practice every single day. But I was determined to get that darn thing right. Just like when we went and took lessons from Rocco, I was determined. I stayed up all night and I was determined to get it right. I was determined to get this thing right, and I couldn't get it right. And then she tells me, no, that made me so mad.
We got to get Rocco in the podcast. I wonder what he remembers.
Probably
from
nothing.
Us.
I doubt he remembers that we were there. You took lessons? That's awesome. Like, I mean,
we were with him for a week.
I know, but still.
How many people do you think went to his place and studied with him for a week?
I don't know.
We've got to be rare.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But she kicked butt. She did great. She would stay up till 3 a.m. practicing.
I did, because I wanted to get it right.
Yeah. Anyway.
I wanted to, yeah.
Anyway, that's this week's episode, guys. I don't know what happened to the lady. I can check the email while we're wrapping things up and see if she emailed back. Kelly, just got your voicemail. Would you be available tomorrow?
No.
We're in our busy season, lady.
Yeah.
She did reach out though. Maybe nothing bad happened. I have no idea. I don't know. Anyway, that's this week's podcast. We are going to be on here a little while longer because I have some things to talk about on Patreon. And the cool thing about Patreon, I can play you that song. Hold on, little girl. Show me what he's done to you.
You just sang it to him.
but it won't get flagged on Patreon. So come visit us over
Did you
there.
get flagged now because you sang part of it?
No, that
Oh,
I can't sing. I'm not a good singer. But anyway, patreon.com/Wes_Isley. Check it out, guys. If you like our podcast, you like what we do, you get podcast extras and all the other stuff I told you about. Check it out. And only thing we have left to say is see you next week.
Check us out online at wesisley.com and patreon.com/Wes_Isley for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled WESISELI.